Hey guys, so today I am going to sew. I've been doing a lot of embroidery projects and I feel the need to sew something. So today will be a sewing video and not a embroidery and smocking video. We're probably going to put this on hold for a couple of days because I have got a lot of Christmas gift creating to do, and I keep coming up with ideas for more things to do that involve sewing, and I miss sewing. So today I don't know if I will continue on the rest of the week. I have no idea, but today I am going to sew. I also have some bent pleater needles that I have got to dispose of. And the way that I do that is, let me move these over here for the time being. So this box arrived. It has Popcornopolis inside. What has this got to do with pleater needles? Well, that's why I have this box. And it's a good box to keep. Almost all boxes are. Uh-oh, where did they go? Oh no. Oh, I put them over there, duh. They've been kind of living in this little area right here, 5x5. So anyway, these have to be disposed of, and the way that I do that is I put them in a piece of cardboard. I try to make sure that they cannot come back out. Let me get my thimble. Okay. This one's being grumpy. This one is going to have to be taped. I know tape is plastic. I just don't really know what else to do. You know, we have a hobby that just insists on producing. You know, we've got the fiber issue, we've got the plastics issue, we've got the how to dispose of this type of thing issue. But I don't want someone to get hurt. And when I say someone, I mean if I were to throw this in the garbage, or to throw this needle in the garbage, and then it was time to put more garbage in the garbage bin, and someone went out and just kind of pushed down with their hand to put the next bag in, that could go right through their hand. And like I said before, I've actually known a person who was taking garbage out and needed to push the bags down in the garbage bin, and a coffee pot had broken and all that glass was out there, and you know, when they went in and pushed down, it really cut them pretty bad. So this is my way of, I hope, preventing someone from getting hurt, whether it's at my house or, you know, out in the world. That's why I do this. And I know there's a neat, okay, there it is right there. So I'm going to put tape along this edge. Sometimes with corrugated, you can kind of smash it. See how I'm pushing these little edges down? And they stay Yeah, it's not moving now. But I know it started to come out right there, so I'm just going to take one small piece of tape, tape it right there. All right, I feel pretty good. I feel like that's not going to hurt anybody. So this now needs to be cleaned off. I will put the butterflies back. So this is the fabric that I showed in the last video. I purchased this on Amazon. All right, I'm not affiliated with them, non-sponsored, just thrilled. I mean, I ordered it, I got it really fast. It is absolutely beautiful fabric. So what I plan to do is I want to make a table topper for Christmas. And I feel like based on the fabric, it could go all the way through to the new year. It's poinsettia, or if you prefer poinsettia, and birds. I have chickadees and I have cardinals on this beautiful piece of fabric. It has amaryllis and hollyberry, or coral berries, and holly berries. There's a pine bough. Okay. Anyway, identifying the plants on fabric. Wow. But that's, I mean, people do want to know what that is. And then, if you can't tell, there are gold swirls, and they're very shimmery. I noticed yesterday it wasn't really shimmering too much on camera, but there it goes right there. There's a bit of shimmer. So I think it would be beautiful in candlelight. I don't want it. I don't want a table runner. I want a table topper. Those work the best for me. Now it is a directional print. That might be a drawback for some. But there are ways where you literally can work around that. You can cut your fabric in half and then cut it in half again, and then splice the two in the center so that one faces one way, so the guests on this side have that view, and then the other side is facing that way so that the guests on that side of the table have that view. So if you want to do that, of course you can. You also can have the length of the table. If you have a longer than wider table, you can have one direction going toward the far end of the table and then turn it so that the other half is the other far end of the table. So those are some options. The other thing that you can do is create strip pieces and not worry about it and just kind of have them all random. I'm not sure how at this point. I have so many thoughts running through my mind. fear they would fight. It's a messy rendition, but I kind of like it. I like the idea of it. Oh, and here it is, this guy. Okay. All right. And I'm going to back off of the line where the selvage begins right here, because I know that a little bit further back is where the fabric starts to really, the weave gets tighter and tighter as it's reaching that point where it is being woven onto and off of the fabric loom. So a little bit further down into the fabric, especially on the side that I can't see right here. Being ambidextrous, sometimes I get in my own way. I step on my own feet. This is probably one of those times. So I'll be lining up along this bottom straight line right here on my cutting mat, and along a straight line on this side, and I will be using the 2-inch mark on my Omni Grid 3-inch ruler. Alright, so I'm going to make that straight, or as straight as I can. Okay. One, two, three, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, well, still, I'm fine with this, because keep in mind it's going to be twice this, because one will be birds facing this way, and then birds facing this way, and then back to birds facing this way. Flip this one over, but this one needs to be, oh, I see, that actually would work there. Okay. So it's just going to be a process of having the birds placed with some birds facing the people on the left, some birds facing people on the right. But I don't want this situation right here, where this chickadee looks like it has been surgically attached to this cardinal. So I will be actually carefully deciding where each of these, is this the correct way? Yes. No, this goes this way. Okay, right. So there will be a lot of figuring out where each one goes. I'm not just going to do it random. I want it to look nice, and I don't want there to be any strange two-headed bird issue. Okay guys, so next up, I have 10 of the strips numbered and ready to be stitched. So I'm going to pick up piece number 1, and there's piece number 1 right there. And I've not pressed this because I don't want to run the risk of causing it to skew. I want it to stay nice and straight. So I'm going to wait until I have these 10 put together, and then I'll go back and I'll just open up those seams and give them a press, not an iron. Okay, now the only thing I need to make sure of is that one strip has birds that are facing the people on the right, or in this case the left, and one strip has birds that will be facing people on the right. Otherwise I'll have to take the stitches out, and that always causes some issues. Okay, and then right sides together, I'm going to do a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And I'm not going to lock stitches at the beginning or the end. That I don't think in this case is necessary because I am going to be doing a binding. And this will all be caught in a binding. The reason I don't want to do that is because, well, there's a couple reasons. One, if I do make a mistake, it's so much more difficult to remove those stitches. And two, I think it causes the, I think it has an effect, an adverse effect on strip piecing. I could be absolutely wrong, but it seems to me that I've run across issues when I do that. So I'm not going to. I'm not making a quilt, I'm making a table topper. All right, now I do want to make sure that my sewing machine is all set the way I want it, and it is. So here we go. And I am aware that my sewing machine is traveling. I have no idea why it has started doing that, but I know that I can tape over here. I can put some tape and it will hold it. But I've got to figure out, I think there's a way to put some like strips of hot glue on the bottom of this, and that kind of helps to hold it. You know, in fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and do it because it's starting to annoy me. It's been kind of on the back of my mind for, I don't know, 2-3 months now. I've had the issue, and I'm kind of, frankly, I'm done with it. So rather than damage the desk in such a way that I can't, I've thought about painting it with some chalk paint. That's been an sort of an onboard idea that I've been having off and on. So, George, I'm going to put you off of the mat. Let's see if I can pick you up. There there we go. Ah, there's the pen I couldn't find the other day. All right. So my hot glue gun is on. I'm going to roll the thread lint and dust off of the bottom of that. Okay, and I don't feel any, well, that came right off, didn't it? Okay. All right, let's give this a go. Ooh. It is still moving a little, but not to the same extent that it was before, so I don't want to lift it by that or that. All right. So the only thing I can do is just try it and see what happens. Alright, so I have stitched all of the strips that I wanted to use. There's one left. I'm not sure. I kind of wanted to end up with Chickadee as the main print on this end, and I have Cardinal as the main print on this end. To do now is press the seams open. I have pressed the seams open. Some of them were not willing to stay open when I flipped it over to press it from the other side, but it looks really, really good, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. So the next step is to measure from one side to the other, and I am exactly at 33 inches from side to side. Okay, we'll turn it this way. Okay, and from here to here, I am at 25 7/8. All right, so the next step in this process is to square it up. Okay, I've already taken it into the dining room and checked it for width and length, and I love the width and length. Those are two straight sides right there. So as you can see, let me get this camera down where you can actually see. This side needs to be squared up, as does this side. See what this looks like. It is just beautiful, and I love the fact that some of the birds are looking toward me, and some of the birds are looking away from me, and they are going every other 2-inch strip. So if you are interested in this and these measurements, I can tell you it's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So it's 21 2-inch strips sewn with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I think that looks pretty good. So the next thing now is to measure again, since I've squared everything up. It should be slightly different. Okay, we are still 33, which we should be. And this will now be slightly smaller. Okay, we are dead on 24. Alright, so I'm going to I haven't pressed it yet, but I'm going to lay that down and then lay this on top and see what it looks like size-wise. I think we're good to go. Yep. Absolutely perfect. Okay. Looks great. So I do need to iron the backing, and I left the selvage on one side because I'm going to cover it with binding. Okay, so I changed my mind about 5 times, and what I ended up doing was putting 2 layers of Warm and Natural on using a spray and bond basting adhesive, and it's folded right here, and then I just stuck it to the backing, and now I am going to spray the Warm and Natural again, but from the other side. And the way I do this is I will spray half. When my project is small enough, I can do half this way, like so. Spray the Warm and Natural. And yes, I do use quite a bit. I kind of need the help. And then I just lay this half down, give it a good smish, and I'm going to turn this around and do the other half. And I can tell where I was just by pulling back until I feel resistance, which is right there. And again, I'm just going to lift this, press it down, like so. Now, there it is. And I can decide how I want to finish the quilting part. So all that's left of this project is the binding around the outer edges. Sorry about the loud airplanes, it's just a daily thing. We all get used to it after a while. Alrighty, so here's the thing. I cut 4 pieces of fabric, straight grain. I did not cut this on the bias. I just pressed them in half. So they're 3-inch wide strips, and then they are folded in half. So now they equal 1.5 inches wide. What I plan to do is pin these. Now, if you recall, the way this goes, you must have at least an inch on the outside edge of your project. So if you just take your strip, in my case, because they are the full width of the fabric, and line up those raw edges with the raw edges of your project, and you'll have this overhang of trim, and then stitch and stitch. But just remember that it's this side and then the exact opposite side. So you do this one and then that one, and that's the only way that this works. So you must do it in that order. So you do this and then that, and we'll deal with these issues, and then this side and this side, and we'll deal with those issues. And then we'll turn these around to the back, and we'll be able to square off our edges. Okay guys, so I'll be back tomorrow with the conclusion. This will be a finally finished object, FFO. I'm going to put the strips on. I'll show you how to do that square edge binding, and we will have a beautiful Christmas table topper. I am going to do this cute little needle keep right here that has that cute little scissor tab. I'm hoping it will work for mine. I know that if I hold them, they tend to fall open, so I'm going to have to try to figure out a way to loop it through 2 handles instead of just one. But that's, you know, hey, make it work, right? I will be working on embroidery tonight and in the morning, and in the meantime, if you liked this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.